So I was talking yesterday about the mains charger for the lithium battery, which is that one there, and that the sockets in France do not have switches, so that as soon as you plug it in, everything is live, and that is the socket that's going to go in, and you can see the problem. So that's the connection. I've put the hole down there already, ready for the cable to come through. That's going to sit down here, and this is going to plug in. But of course, as soon as you plug it in, it's completely live. And if this is on inverter, which makes that socket live, then of course I'm going to be putting a charger that's driven from the inverter from the battery to charge the battery. You can see how that's kind of not going to work. So this is what we use. So rather than having to unplug it and plug it back in every time, this is just a socket, a plug, and just has a switch. And of course everybody from every other country in the world will be thinking, well, why do you need to use that? Well, there's the answer. Because these are always live, and this is the way to switch it on, and I can switch it off as needed. So I'll put that in. That can stay in there permanently, and we can just switch it on whenever we go to electric hookup to charge the battery. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick explanation as to why and how, so that you understand. All right, catch you later. Okay, so that's another job just finished off. So I've just put the hinges in for these panels at the back. So they now lift up, supported on all the edges. So even though it's only 5mm ply, there's plenty of support there for it. A little bit of trimming to do on this corner here, just to take a bit of this edge off. But yeah, they're all done. So another job to tick off the list. Another little job. So this is the entranceway. And there was a weird switch on here, something to do with the old gas system, but no longer in use. It's all been cut off. And I want to put a socket here, so it gives me some outside access to his power. But also there's going to be an extension to the kitchen sitting here, and this will give me another socket as well as the one at the front, just in case we want some power going into that, and a couple of charging sockets as well. So I pulled off the outside panel here. We can just see in the back there. But what I found is that there is no backing board behind this. This is just purely this hardboard. So I've cut myself a piece of 5mm ply. I'm going to put that behind it and glue this in place. And then we've got something more solid then to connect the socket to. So crack on and get that done, and then just wait for that to dry and then finish it off with a socket. So the cable arrived today, so we've started doing electrics, but we've had a bit of a disaster because I came into the van this morning and found another leak. So we've got water coming down here somewhere and then dripping down this board here. This is absolutely soaking up here. And I put my damp meter across it, and I've got something going on here. But if you look outside, the roof has been completely sealed. So I'm at a bit of a loss at the moment to find out what's going on. I think I'm going to have to take this cabinet off, have a look at what's underneath all of that, and see if I can work out what's going on. But anyway, job for another day. Let's concentrate on one job at once. So the cable's in there. I'm just getting ready to put the consumer panel in. And I've got another socket, which I'm just putting in this side. So I've got one over there. I've got one here, one at the door. And I'm going to put one down here as well. It's 4 sockets. So we're using multi-core cable, of course, for vehicles, and that's 1.5mm, which has a 16 amp limit. So the breaker in the box is 16 amps, and most of the campgrounds don't give you any more than 16 amps. In fact, in France, you're lucky to get 6. So we don't need to go to the expense of 2.5mm. So this is quite easy to work with. So I'm going to route it around. I've also got some cable clips. So we're going to use these to hold the cable in place. And also some conduit, self-adhesive conduit. So we'll cut this to match where the cable is going to go, just to protect it. Bit of overkill, but hey, why not? It's not very expensive. It just takes a little bit of extra time to do it. And then I need to get in here and clean all the mess up, because I'm making a bit of a mess. Fortunately, my wife doesn't come in and see it just at the moment, because I've told her to stay away until I've finished. But anyway, yeah, I'm not the tidiest of workers, as you've probably noticed. Anyway, I'll get these finished up, and I'll show you the routed cable afterwards. Bye for now. I'll start with some good news today, and that is we had heavy rain last night. We've got no leaks this morning, and what I found out is that this side panel for the elevating roof has got seals on it, and this catch up here wasn't closed properly, and the seal had allowed water to run down and exit here. So it was tested last night with a very heavy rainstorm after I re-clipped it back in place, and we don't have a leak. Thank goodness. So anyway, I'm doing some electrics today. So there's my consumer unit in there, and cables all connected. And then we've got one socket here, cable running around, coming out to a socket there, socket here, and then in here I'm just sorting out the wiring, and then I've got one more cable here which is going down and going to come out in the battery box, which will give me my charging point. So that's the 4 sockets in the van. This is the panel that's going to go over the top here, and then on the back of each of these other sockets, so it'll be in here, if you can see this, that there is going to be covered with another box. I'm going to make some boxes to go on the back to protect all of those. So yeah, get on with that today, and it's coming together. Just need to get some more. Oh, that's the other one that I need to do. So the cable that I've used going from the heater to the battery box isn't enough for the 10 to 12 amps that it draws when it starts up. So I've got some more cable here, so I need to do a bit more wiring in the box and bring that back across into the heater so that it's got sufficient current carrying capacity. So I'm going to wait for the weather to dry up a little bit. We've got rain today. Okay, see you soon. So I recently talked about the missing part of the ceiling there for the shower cubicle, and one of the things I need to do is make sure that is waterproof. And I was thinking first of all of reusing some more of this plastic here, and I thought, well, let's try something different, and there it is. So what I've done, I've taken the sheets of plywood that I'm using, and I've waterproofed the back with epoxy, and then I've waterproofed the front with epoxy, but done a little bit of a pattern to try and make it a little bit more suitable for a shower or a bathroom. But it's now completely waterproof. Hole there, of course, for the wires for the LED lamp. And so I thought I'd give that a go and see what that looks like. So let's get it up there and see if it works. Or if not, I'll rethink it. But I think that that might be quite pleasant to have up there, a bit of a colour in the bathroom. Right, let's give it a go. So those were just in place at the moment, waiting for the edge trim. I'm going to run some edge trim along the bottom here, which is going to hold this up in place. But I think that's going to look quite nice. Anyway, so chasing this leak, which unfortunately started again yesterday. So I'm going to have to try and trace where it comes from. So I've just removed that cabinet, just held in with a bunch of screws. No evidence really, except for this. Oh, maybe here, maybe this is where it's coming, around that area there. Anyway, pull some of this down and see exactly what we're playing with, and see if we can track down this this leak. Right, let's see if we can find it. Well, I think that's given me some evidence of where to look. Yeah, let's strip this back a bit more, but I think I've got some idea as to where it might be coming in from. Well, it's kind of good news. I found the leak, and it's caused by holes in the metal roof. That is mastic underneath there. It's coming through from the top. But that is located underneath that seam there, which should theoretically be waterproof, but obviously isn't. Anyway, I'm going to cut this wood back here because this is absolutely sopping, and reseal all of this, and hopefully we've eradicated another leak. But yeah, at least we found it. That's the main thing. We can get it fixed now. Okay, crack on. So I've cleaned up some of the ceiling here, and I've taken it as far back as the dry area, and you can see there's definitely some holes there. I'm just waiting. This is the new stuff that's been put up. It's twice as thick as the original ceiling, or sorry, original roof. So that's really nice. But this stuff is so thin, the original aluminium roof, and obviously it's corroded over time. But I'm just waiting to see if I can see which part has actually got a drip in it. Fairly certain it's this edge down here and not over on this side. Even though that's got a bit of damp there, I think it's just leached across from the other side. But keep an eye on this now. It is still raining. Watch out for the drip, and then I'm going to then cut a new piece of timber. Going to come across all the way up to the end here, and get that in there and seal it all up. Probably going to use some butyl tape to seal those holes, but I think that's about the best we can do there. As long as it doesn't leak, that's all that matters. Right, I'll back when we get to that stage.